What's going on, pilots? Thought I'd get a video out here since it's been quite a while, so nobody thinks I'm dead out there. Anyways, got a lot of stuff going on. Still haven't finished up the Corsair. I know it's been a while. I've been working on. I actually haven't been working on it. It's a problem. I've been kind of catching up on some of my older birds, kind of giving them new life. So I was going to give you guys an update on what's going on, and I'm going to try and get actually a hanger video going here. Where I'm going to get out all my birds and see if we can fit them all in the living room. And, you know, the kits that I have to build and get up flying this summer. So, right now what I've got going on are two different things. This was my Parkzone F4F right here. And I had flown the pants off this thing. I mean, it was pretty much just worn out. And, didn't want to buy a new kit, you know, because it was still perfectly pliable. No problems with it as far as airworthiness. So I decided it was time for a makeover. So I wanted to go a little bit more scale, you know, without getting nuts on it. So what I did was I jumped online and I found some pictures here of scaled F4Fs. There's the top view and, of course, the side view. Right there. And I kind of went off this pattern here. Actually, it's almost identical except for the tail. I did mine in a red tail instead of a blue, which they did here. Kind of a blue-gray. And but pretty much everything else I kept the same. Now, I did go ahead and paint the bottom of the wing because I wanted a little bit more color, and I just thought it looked better with that red cowling, that half-red cowling. So that was the picture, and here's what we came up with. We came up with the F4F here. Now I have no decals on it yet. I am going to put the stars on it. I've got those. I've got pretty much, you know, every type of decal I need. I don't have the specific one for the Parkzone F4F, but I've got much more scale ones. So I'm going to put those on. Most likely I'm going to go ahead and airbrush my lettering on and stuff like that. My numbering on the sides. And in this scale version, you also have a number, usually a 3 or a 7, that goes here or here. I'm going to go with a 7 on it, and then that'll match on the cowling here. And so here's a little peek at her. She turned out really good. I really like the new paints I'm using. Yeah, I know, guys. I painted over the wheels, and I'm leaving it that way. I actually like it better. Kind of looking like that wheel's covered up, but I know that's not really per scale, but it's not 100%. So, anyways, guys, here's what she turned out like. Pretty much like the picture, like I wanted her to. I got my angles off the picture as far as where it meets towards the ailerons and where it meets towards the fuse. Like I said, my cowl, I repainted all that. Got the bottom nice and red. There's the bottom of the F4F there. And here's what I'll tell you about the wings. I went ahead and did the wings in a nice red on the bottom there. And I still have some touch-ups, of course, to do, like you always do when you paint foam. So it's looking pretty good. The body's in pretty good shape now, though. I used my old school painting method I've talked about a couple times here, and it's the way you paint it to where when you're done, it almost literally looks like you glassed it or epoxied it or something like that. It is very smooth. It's actually much more rigid and stronger now, and it's just real nice and smooth. Now the wings I still need to do a little bit of clear coat on, just to shine them up a little bit more, just so the fuselage doesn't stand out so extreme. But yeah, a little canopy fell off there. But she's looking good, so I'm gonna get the decals going on that, get to do a little bit of airbrush and a little bit of weathering. And as far as the cockpit here, I'll show you guys. Now the bird cage on the canopy, I'm not sure how I want to paint this. I just did a quick black on it a long time ago, so I'm going to change that because that's not really scale in the picture. In the picture it actually is the same color as the fuse, but I don't want to do that because it kind of blends it in a little bit, so I want it to stand out. So I either might clean it up and do a little bit better job on the black, or possibly a silver, or, you know, or a metallic type color to resemble metal. Now inside the cockpit here, okay, and these cockpits aren't nice to start with, I'm sure you guys know. This was just a flat cockpit with a flat back. What I added here, and it'll be hard to see with the black, I blacked it out so when I choose to paint all my details and all that kind of stuff and put some of the dash stickers back on, it'll be you know, a little bit easier to see. Let me get the pilot out of there. So what I did on this one, guys, was basically, I'll give you a side view here. I built up a back triangle here with a little square top, goes all the way down, okay? And then added onto that triangle, I added the seat back and the round top with the round head cushion on the back. Okay, so that's what we kind of came out with. Now, as far as the front, there wasn't much you could do there because I did cut a hole a while back for a camera. So I filled the hole with basically it's a triangle shaped piece, kind of like an instrument cluster type thing. Then you have your instrument cluster here where the stick would come out of. I used the shielding, if I can get a light on it. There we go. I used the shielding from some, I believe that is 8 or 14 gauge or 12 gauge wire right there that goes into this component here. So when the pilot is finally painted, because I will paint him also and make him look a lot nicer. So you see he seats up in there, his head goes up against the rest, nice and good, just like that, okay? And then basically this right here will be the his oxygen going down into the fuselage. And like I said, guys, that's just a piece of wire. You can even see the wire threads there. Now his mask looks pretty goofy, doesn't it? All that is a piece of EPO foam cut out in a little rugged, you know, not very clean triangle. It was from my old J10, and I just took a little piece out and cut it in that shape and just put a dab of hot glue and put it on him. But when I get some paint on that, a couple layers, it'll look really good. I've already hot glued the wire to it, or his oxygen tube, I should say, and it looks awesome that way. So I basically just need to upscale this pilot. I'm going to repaint him completely, his goggles, his suit, the wing straps and everything. And once he's finally mounted in there, I've got him painted, I'm happy, I've got everything inside colored like I want it. I'm actually going to go ahead and run real cloth, very thin cloth straps to come down over his straps. So it'll actually be tied back into the wall. I think that'll add a cool little effect to it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I mean, I probably went overboard on this. I spent a lot of time on it, you know, especially when you can go out and get the airframe kit for like, I think, $70, but it was fun, you know. I got to learn a lot of stuff. I learned a lot more about the painting methods. I tried several different methods on this. This has actually got a lot of paint on it, guys. Weight-wise, I can't tell you how many grams I added, but there's, between trying and starting over, there's a good 4 layers on there, not counting clear coats. So, the tail came out good the first time. I didn't have to redo that at all. The wings, that's actually, I tried a little airbrushing at first, didn't like it, so I just went with the yellow here. And the cowl just painted up beautiful, I mean plastic, so that was real easy. So that's where I'm at on that. Now the Mustang is getting ready to get the same treatment. It's going to get a makeover too. So I've already kind of started. I just gave it a rough paint just to see the pattern I wanted to do, and some of you guys might know this pattern here. Okay, so you can see here how it might look, if you know what I'm talking about. So it's a real tough looking pattern. I really like it. The wing will blend in with all of this real nice. Yeah, I got to smooth my edges there and make that nice and round. And of course the rough areas on this too, where the paint was at, that is where the decals were pulled. Places where the decals were not pulled, you can tell right there, it's still really nice. So I'll just put the decal set back on this one as well. Not all of it, just a few parts. Went ahead and added the rudder to it. I've always had it solid on there, so I went ahead and decided to add the rudder. We're going to try and figure out something on the canopy on this. Now this is painted black already. I did it when I first got it, and it's painted from the inside. So I'm kind of screwed on doing anything in the cockpit, which is fine. So I'll just go ahead and leave that black. Paint the bird cage a little bit here. Probably go ahead and go the silver gray with that, and match that around the side, and then work on the wing pattern for it. I've got the scale pictures pulled off for that one as well. It's not a red tail Mustang, but it's pretty close. So I'll do that and do a little bit more weathering on it and playing with it too, and get it looking nice and neat. And then my X35 right there, guys, is that one is getting ready to do thrust vector on that. That's going to get my Delta, or my E-flite Delta V 15 70mm fan 4S, and I've got a 70mm aluminum RC lander thrust tube vectoring kit that I'm going to throw on this one. All the control surfaces are off right now because I'm hinging it with nylon pin hinges, so nothing's on it right now, and it's just got a rough prime on it, and I'm doing some sanding right now. But so the X35, I know it's been a while since I've flown that one for you guys. When it comes back, it will have full rudders, and it will also have an aluminum, I was going to say exhaust there, an aluminum thrust tube with full 360-degree thrust vectoring. And I like those a lot better than any kit that comes with thrust vectoring, because I place the servos where I want them back in the back. I adjust the throws extreme or real light on them. So that's going to be a really fun one, because this one without thrust vectoring, I can literally go full speed, pull back on the stick, and it almost seems like it has it anyways. And this is the X35 by the Wings makers. It was more of a kit than most of the like F35s and F22s, so it's been a fun little plane though. So I figured I'm gonna throw some thrust vectoring on it and see what I can do with this bad boy. So that's what I got going on right now, guys. Corsair, really all it's waiting on is I just got to put the little plastics on, like the control pieces there. I got to take the paint off of that and put my my control horns on there. It comes with all the types of control horns and stuff like that, but I don't use those. I usually pull off a nice little set of Dubro nylons here, and then take all the paint off and put those on instead. But other than that, she's wired up, ready to go. Got a Castle Creations BEC in her. It's going to be running on a separate 2-cell LiPo. So she'll be ready to go. I'm going to put a lighting system in it. Didn't come with one, so I'm going to hook up a little lighting system, because this is a really nice scale bird. So that's kind of what's going on, and I'll have an update on the Stuka coming up as well when we get the maiden off on that one. So stick around, guys. Got a lot of stuff coming, just trying to figure out what order to do it in. So keep on flying and having fun, and thanks for checking out the video, and keep your guys' videos coming. And I'll keep trying to teach myself how to scale stuff here. So thanks a lot, guys.